In the heart of the city, amidst the chaos of crowded streets and relentless traffic, a heartbreaking sight brought everything to a standstill. Lying on the edge of a grimy alleyway was a tiny, starving puppy, so thin its ribs seemed to pierce through its fragile skin. Every labored breath it took was a battle for survival. When rescuers arrived, they knew the odds were against them. Saving this helpless soul would be anything but easy. The puppy was discovered by a passerby on their evening walk. At first glance, it seemed like a bundle of rags left on the side of the road, but a faint whimper revealed the heartbreaking truth. The puppy was emaciated, its tiny frame shaking violently from hunger and fear. The rescuer hesitated, unsure of how to help without scaring the poor creature. Armed with nothing but a leash and a blanket, they tried to coax the puppy closer, but every step caused the frightened animal to retreat further into the gutter. Traffic roared by, and each honk sent the puppy scrambling in panic. The rescuer's first attempt to lift it failed. The puppy cried out weakly and attempted to bite, desperate to defend itself. Time was running out, and with nightfall approaching, the situation grew even more dire. As the rescuer made another attempt to approach the trembling puppy, the situation grew more precarious. The narrow roadside where the puppy hid was bordered by a steep drainage ditch on one side and busy traffic on the other. Each loud honk or roar of a passing vehicle sent the puppy deeper into the gutter, where it cowered behind piles of debris. Adding to the challenge, the weather began to shift. A cold drizzle started to fall, making the ground slippery and further complicating the rescue. The rescuer, soaked to the skin, slipped while trying to maneuver closer. The puppy's defensive instincts only worsened the situation. It snarled weakly but determinedly, refusing to trust the stranger who was trying to help. Exhausted but determined, the rescuer knew they needed to act quickly. Nightfall was approaching, and the temperature was dropping rapidly. Each failed attempt to reach the puppy felt like a step closer to failure. Frustration and self-doubt began to creep in, but there was no time to dwell. The puppy's survival depended on perseverance, even as fatigue and desperation threatened to overwhelm the rescuer. As the rescuer paused to regroup, they realized a new approach was necessary. With the drizzle intensifying, they used a blanket from their car, hoping its softness and warmth might coax the puppy out of hiding. Carefully, they positioned themselves at a safer angle, speaking softly to the frightened animal. After what felt like endless minutes of stillness, the puppy stopped growling and tilted its head toward the blanket. Taking a deep breath, the rescuer inched closer. A breakthrough came when the puppy, trembling and weak, hesitantly sniffed the blanket. The rescuer seized the moment, gently wrapping the blanket around the frail creature. Despite the puppy's initial squirming, its resistance soon faded. Nestled in the blanket's warmth, the animal let out a faint whimper before falling silent. The rescuer carried the puppy to safety, a mix of relief and exhaustion washing over them. It wasn't easy, but the little one was finally secure. With the puppy safely wrapped in the blanket, the rescuer sat in the car, watching as the trembling creature began to relax in the warmth. The once desperate and fearful eyes now reflected a quiet, fragile trust. It was a moment of overwhelming relief, a stark contrast to the tension that had defined the rescue. The rescuer glanced back at the desolate spot where the puppy had been found. It was a sobering reminder of the countless animals that face similar struggles, waiting for someone to notice and care. Every scratch, bruise, and moment of uncertainty had been worth it to give this one tiny life a second chance. As they drove toward the nearest animal shelter, a wave of gratitude swept over them. This rescue wasn't just about saving a life. It was a testament to the power of perseverance and compassion. Sometimes the hardest fights are the ones that matter most. This incredible rescue reminds us that even when the odds seem insurmountable, hope and perseverance can overcome any challenge. Each life is precious, and every effort counts. Share this story to inspire compassion and courage in others. Together, we can create a world where no life is left behind.